Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, with some post-fight comments on Paul Williams versus Sergio Martinez. Now, I was moved by this fight. I thought this fight was between two of boxing's very best talents, and I'll just set it up like this. Just imagine if you had a fight scheduled against Paul Williams. And let's say a guy your size, who's one of the very best counterpunchers in the sport, Winky Wright, just got undressed and dismantled by a younger, taller, fast-handed Paul Williams. And as you're looking at the Winky Wright film, just imagine sitting there looking at a guy who beat Shane Mosley twice, looking at a guy who dismantled Felix Trinidad, unable to counter Paul Williams with regularity because Williams was throwing too many punches. Winky had his hands up and was blocking too many punches, didn't have time to reach Williams, who was tall and uses height. A round has 180 seconds, 3 minutes, 60 times 3, and Paul Williams in that Winky Wright fight averaged about 800 punches per round. So Paul Williams was throwing a punch every 1.8 seconds. And let's say that you're looking at Winky Wright, an elite fighter, and you're seeing him get hit, his face is marked up at the end of the fight, and you're seeing him completely dominated, unable to get inside of Paul Williams. And of course, you're a 154 pounder. You're going to be fighting Williams at 160 pounds, middleweight, not even your division. You also saw a very skilled counterpuncher, one of the sport's underrated talents, Carlos Quintana, um, beat Williams, and then in the rematch, try to employ the same tactics, get caught by Williams, and get stopped by Williams in one round. In other words, you understand that the Punisher, who's really a volume puncher, actually can stop you like he stopped Carlos Quintana. Now, let's say you then enter the ring like Sergio Martinez did, and you then start to fight Paul Williams, and Paul Williams comes across the ring, and Paul Williams starts to throw a big volume of punches, and as you're backing away, trying to figure out the angles, because you yourself are a supreme counterpuncher, Williams actually catches you and puts you on the canvas. Not a flush punch. You're rolling with it, but Williams knows how to cut off the ring to such an extent that he's in front of you and you find yourself up against the ropes and dropped in the first round. Now, that is exactly what happened to Sergio Martinez. Martinez then proceeded to get off the canvas, and in my opinion, he signed his name to boxing's best performance in 2009. And in my opinion, Sergio Martinez then went on over the next 11 and a half rounds to win that fight. Now, I know Paul Williams got the decision. Don't worry too much about the idiot judge who had the fight 119-110, because um, boxing actually has three judges for a reason. We know that they're going to be judges, and I shouldn't say idiot judge, I don't want to get sued here. We know they're going to be judges who have views that might be outside the views of those ringside who saw the fight, right? We know that. And so that judge's scorecard, you can toss it because, of course, the other two judges really decided the fight. And one had the fight even, the other one had Paul Williams winning 115-113. And I've also heard from Williams supporters who point out, and CompuBox.com points out that Williams actually landed more punches. I just have a few points. First, the strategy employed by Sergio Martinez is brilliant. To get around the dilemma that Winky Wright had in blocking punches by Paul Williams, Martinez literally decided not to block the punches. This is outside the box stuff. This is Ali stuff. This is the difference between great fighters and conventional fighters. Martinez actually decides to drop his hands. He then uses head movement and movement, foot movement, to literally be in front of Williams but not be in front of Williams. As Williams comes forward and starts to throw several punches, Martinez literally dodges the punches with his head. He gets low. He actually bends over a little bit, forcing Williams to use his reach. Then he starts to counter Williams so magnificently that Williams goes down hard at the end of the first round. That's a legit knockdown. Look at how Williams tries to grab one of the ropes. He then proceeds to figure out how to counter Williams to the point where he's actually able to counter Williams to the body. And my point to you is, think about it. That's A-plus stuff. You're fighting a guy who has a lot of knockouts, who has a reach advantage on you, and who's cutting off the ring on you, and you're able to be close enough to hit him to the body without raising your hands and without getting tagged yourself. Incredible stuff. Not only that, the quality of the hits. Forget CompuBox. It's not the number of the hits, it's the quality of the hits. Williams is hitting Martinez as Martinez is rolling with punches, right? Martinez is rolling and on the move. Martinez doesn't get hit flush too often in the fight. Williams gets hit flush repeatedly. He gets cut. One of the things Williams does well, and Williams is an excellent fighter, is Williams would get caught flush with a shot on the way in, and then Williams would cover it up by literally leaning on Martinez and throwing punches. Several times in this fight, I thought Williams got caught on the way in and literally fell into Martinez. I'm sure if Martinez looked at the tape of the fight, he's going to realize he should have just stepped to the side and have Williams stagger in front of him. Also, Martinez, there is a difference between running in a fight and moving in a fight. Martinez moves the entire fight. He's really stationary, but yet he's not running. He is working. He is circling. He's making sure that he's not spending his time blocking Williams's punches. He's making sure that he is getting off his punches. So I thought it was simply the performance of the year. Let me shift gears for a second and get controversial here at the end of the video, right? The problem, I believe, with Manny Pacquiao is that Manny Pacquiao cannot fight backing up. Contrast Pacquiao backing up, and I've heard about Pacquiao's knockdown at Cotto. I've heard about Pacquiao dropping Morales backing up. Take a look at a fighter who knows how to fight backing up. That's Sergio Martinez. I'd enjoy seeing a Sergio Martinez-Manny Pacquiao fight. Let me just point out that Martinez has an entire skill set Pacquiao doesn't have. Let's shift gears. Floyd Mayweather is a counterpuncher. He is 5'8". Paul Williams, listed at 6'1.5", is clearly taller. You saw him standing next to Kelly Pavlik during their press conference. Ask yourself this question. Can a guy with low volume, like Floyd Mayweather, a counterpuncher, actually deal with a tall, lanky volume puncher who's going to be shooting volume and power from distance? Or would Floyd, like Winky Wright, find himself at the end of Paul Williams' punches and volume? I actually believe that Paul Williams beats Floyd Mayweather. I also believe that a Sergio Martinez-Manny Pacquiao fight at 154, I'm leaning toward Martinez in that fight. At a minimum, that fight would be a coin flip. My guess is that the public would believe that Pacquiao is the better fighter. Let me know your thoughts, gamblersadvisory.com and here on YouTube.